What's up, y'all? It's your girl Bougie and I am back with another video. And before we get into this video, I do want to say something real quick. Do not come for me in this story time. Do not, like, oh, you should have never done that, or like just don't like bash me about this situation, because it was a lesson learned for me. Like, I had to learn from this lesson, and I did learn from this lesson. And again, I was young. I was going through stuff, like family wise, living wise. Like, it wasn't good for me at that time. So like, I really didn't give a fuck about school. I did not care about nothing. So yeah, just letting this be known. So this story time is going to be a two-parter, and I do want to say something about, I want to thank this person. I want to thank you, Cameron, because you gave me this idea, because he left a comment on my video this morning. I don't know if it's he or she, but the name is Cameron, and they left a comment on my video or under my video and asked for more story time. So I'm giving you another story time for today. So today's story time is going to be about how I lost my virginity and how I found out my cousin was freaking with the guy I lost my virginity to. So this story time takes place when I was a sophomore. Yes, I was very, very young and dumb, stupid, but it's okay because I learned. Yeah, so this story time takes place when I was a sophomore in high school, and I'm gonna give you guys the three main characters. Well, yeah, three main characters. It's lightskin, which is a guy I lost my virginity to. Twin is my cousin who I was staying with and who was freaking on lightskin. And we got Dimples. Now, this starts off with me first meeting lightskin, because I was ditching my class to go to Dimples PE with him, because he had a girlfriend at the time, and I was like, I really did not care about the girlfriend, because it was just more so, that's my man. Like, I was here first because I was talking to him first. Then I end up moving, and then he ended up talking to her when I was gone. And I guess when I moved back, he was just like, I don't give a fuck. Like, you my bitch. She ain't gotta know this, me and you type shit. And and I was okay with that. So yeah, so I was at PE with him. And light skin walking up to the bleachers. Now I think he was with, who was it on the bleachers? It was me, Dimples, two brothers, and a few other friends. And light skin comes up and talks to all those people down there, because they were towards the bottom of the bleachers. Me and Dimples are like kind of towards the top or whatever. And he talking to everyone down there and stuff, and he sits down and he look at me, and I'm looking at him, and we just like looking at each other. And I tapped Dimples, like, is he looking at me? And then he was like, yeah. And I'm like, but why? And he was like, I don't know. And then he dabbed light skin up, and that was that. So it was a spring break of Friday, like the Friday of spring break that we're all going to spring break. The teachers had let us out of class early because it was Friday and it was spring break. It was just like, you know what, fuck it, like, y'all can leave. So yeah, so she's like, y'all can just leave, y'all can go out. We was outside, so we was just outside talking and stuff, like. And again, at this time, I was like very tomboyish. Like, I was very tomboyish. Like, I was not into this girly stuff, like the lashes, the glosses, the nails, stuff like that. I was not into. So at this time, I was really confused, like, as to why he wanted to talk to me in the first place. But when I went through the situation, it clearly let me know what was his whole point of even talking to me. But yeah, so we outside. I was with Twin, my friends, her friends. We was just all outside. It was just like a lot of people outside, and I'm with my friend group, and light skin, and it's like further over there or whatever. And like, I got my shirt up because it was hot outside. I got this long sleeve shirt on, a long sleeve black shirt. I got it like halfway up like this, and I got like these shorts that are like damn near like slightly above my knees, and then like these busted ass high top Air Force One, the Velcro ones, y'all. Oh my god. Oh, that's so ugly. Like, why would anyone want to talk to me? But anyway, yeah, so You know, I'm just standing there, I'm just swinging like this, trying to get some air because it was hot. And like as I'm turning, I went like that, and I stopped because I seen light skin looking at me. And I looked, and I'm looking at him like more like that. And I went to my cousin, and I'm like, twin, like, why he looking at me like that? She was like, I don't know, but girl, you better go get him, And I'm like, no. Like, I'm not going over there. Like, he's not gonna embarrass me, or none of his friends is not gonna laugh at me. And he was a senior, y'all. He was a senior. I should have known. Like, I should have really known. But like, again, I was in my head where I did not care about anything, and anything anyone would tell me, it was just fed to me, and I believed it. Don't do that. That's where you fuck yourself up. But yeah, so she was like, you need to go over there. I'm like, no, I'm not going over there. She's like, yes, you are. So she told him to come over here. She went like that to him, and then he was like, no, like her, like, come here, like. And I was like, I'm not going over there. She's like, yes, you are. So she pushes me to go over there. Like, she literally like pushed me a little bit, and I like walk over there. And she was just like, he was just like, you got Snapchat or whatever. I was like, you got a girlfriend? And then he was like, no, I ain't got a girlfriend. You got Snap? I'm like, yeah, I got Snap. So I gave him my Snapchat, and I walked back over to my cousin, and I'm like, like, I don't know why I'm whispering, but like, that's how I was talking to her. I was really whispering to her. Like, I was really kind of geek, but the only reason why I was geek was because like he was that in school. Like a lot of bitches was on his in school because like he was that nigga. So I was just overly happy, like, oh my god, like I'm that bitch, like he want me, like out of all these bitches, like I'm the one he want. Like, I was feeling myself, and my cousin really pumped my head about that shit too. But you know, we chopping it up over spring break and stuff like that. We get to like maybe 5 days of being on spring break. He was just like, what you doing tonight? No, what you doing today? I was like, nothing. Why, what's up? He was like, what you doing tonight? I'm like, nothing, in the house chilling with my cousin. And he was like, you want some company? And I'm like, you trying to be my company? And then he was like, yeah, you gonna be spend a night? And I was like, LOL, you for real? He was like, no, I'm just joking. And then he was like, I was just joking. I was like, nah, you was for real. And then he was like, was you for real? I was like, nah, I wasn't for real. He's like, oh, okay, so what you doing? We ended up like getting off that topic. So I go to my cousin though. I was like to him, like, he like low-key like being slick about spending the night. Like, I think he want to spend the night. And she was just like, oh, do it, like let him spend the night. And I'm like, why? Like, how we gonna do this? Because we live with your people. Your stepdaddy crazy. The only access is this front door, and they're going to hear it because it squeaks. So I'm like, how he gonna get in this house? She was like, just like tell him it's like that's a go. He coming over and tell him to give you a time. We finna clean up this room and boom, boom, get this stuff ready. I'm like, are you for real? She was like, yeah, I'm for real. I got it. It's good. I'm all right, boom. So I text him. I'm like, yeah, you can spend the night. He was like, you for real? I'm like, yeah, if you want to, if you still want to do that. And then he was like, yeah, like I'm gonna let you know what time I'm gonna be over there, but I'm gonna come with somebody. I'm like, who you gonna come with? And then he was like, I'm gonna come with my cousin. I'm like, okay, that's cool. I was like, cause I got a cousin here for her, like for him, like shit, that's cool. You feel me? 2 man, you feel me? So I let my cousin know, like, I was like, hey twin, like he said he gonna be here at like around 10. He bring his cousin with him, so you not gonna be alone. Like, she was just like, yes, like this a go. Like, we was like geeked about this shit. So we started cleaning up the room because it was like kind of like not organized, but it was just not the cleanest for boys to be over, you know. So we cleaned up the room. Now, mind you, I've been living with them for like a while at this point, and we never cleaned up this room for me to make space in the closet or anywhere in the room. And it was like kind of awkward, I guess, to my auntie. That's why she asked. But she came into the room and was like, why y'all cleaning up the room? And we was just like, or she jumped up with the quickness, my cousin. She was just like, oh, we cleaning it because we need the space. She said she needs some space in the closet for her pants and this and that, blah, blah, blah. And it was kind of junky for her. And, you know, I wanted to clean up for her, make her feel at home. Mom's like, okay, yeah, you're right. Y'all should have been did that. Like, you know, I'm like, yeah, we're thinking about it. Lying. So she was just like, all right, well, I love y'all. You know, I'm finna go lay down, stuff like that. So she goes lay down. Mind you, it's still kind of early. It's like around like 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock. Still kind of early. So my cousin was just like, did you shave? And I'm like, why do I keep dropping this damn thing? She was like, did you shave? And I'm like, no, what I need to shave for? And then she was like, I mean, like, what else are you coming over here for? I'm like, I don't know. Like, we ain't discussed that yet. Like, you know? And then she was like, well, just shave just in case. And I'm like, shit, okay. Like, just listen to her. Because, like, shit, I ain't never did this shit before. So I'm listening to her ass. And you know, I'm shaving and stuff like that, going there and shave. It wasn't the cleanest shave though, like it was still patchy, but it was okay. You know, I took a shower, stuff like that. She was like, okay, here, put this on. Like I said, y'all, I was a tomboy. I did not own no tight clothes, no booty shorts, no nothing. So she was like giving me clothes to put on, and it was like really like tight. It was like a bralette. It was like pushed up my bra, and I had like these booty shorts on. I really didn't like it because, like, again, it was just revealing everything. Like, it was just too much. But again, like, I was like, you know what, a boy coming over, he liked me, I gotta, you know, give him something to be interested in. I guess that's how I was thinking. So I put that on, and then she was just like, can you bring me a tampon? And I'm like, yeah, I'll bring you a tampon. And then I was like, wait, you use tampons? Like, because I heard about, like, you know, that's not really healthy for your body. So I'm like, wait, you use tampons? And she was like, yeah, what you use? I'm like, pads. And then she was like, you ain't never used a tampon before? I was like, no, mom always give me pads. So she's like, you want to try it? I was like, yeah, like, shit, why not? So I put it in, like, or my cousin put it in for me, and I'm like, damn, like, that shit how that feel? Because it hurt. And then she was like, yeah, like, we started laughing about it. I was like, okay, take it out now, like, you know, I don't want it in no more. So she tries to pull it, and it was like not going nowhere, like it was just stuck. And every time she pulled, like, I kept saying out because that shit was hurting. So she starts to try to throw water like down there to like make it wet or whatever, to get it to moisten up and pull out and stuff like that, and it still was not going. So I was like, you know what, fuck it, just leave it alone, it's okay, like, I'll take it out later, like after they leave type, you know. So 10 o'clock comes, mind y'all, he said he's gonna be there like around 10 o'clock, he not there. I ain't get no message from him. 11, like 10:30, no, nothing from him. 11:30, nothing from him. 12 o'clock, he like, I'm down the street. I'm like, oh shit, twin, he is coming. Like, bitch, we need to get this window. I mean, we need to get this screen off this window. Again, y'all, we did not know how to do nothing. We did not know how to take this screen off this window. So we was like really panicking on how they finna come in, because I did not want them coming over here for no like dry trip. Like, y'all really just made me come over here and I can't even get in. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's a waste of gas and money. So I was like, we need to get this shit off. So she was just like, I don't know how to do it. So we sitting there struggling. They finally come and the screen's still on, and they was like, how we gonna get in? And I'm like, well, we trying to get the screen off. Y'all know how to pop it off? They was like, no. I was like, how y'all boys don't know how to pop a screen off? And they just started laughing and stuff like that. And then like we all like start fidgeting with like different corners of the window, and it ended up popping off. And we put the screen down, and his cousin, we're gonna give him the name Jaden jumped in the window first, and lightskin like kind of rolled in after him, because like he was too tall, and like how like the window was, it wasn't gonna work for him, so he had to roll in. That was the best way, I guess. And when he did that, it was like really, really loud, and it made a really loud thud, and we just all froze for a second listening for my auntie's door to see if her room door opened, and never did, thank God. So all four of us just on the floor, just sitting down, just chopping up, just talking. We eating ribs. No. Yeah, we eating ribs because my auntie husband had cooked some ribs that night, or barbecued or whatever. So we was eating ribs, listening to music, and his cousin, which was kind of funny and kind of like crazy at the same time, his cousin that came over had braces, right? And mind you, he came there for my cousin. So Jaden had braces, and he was telling twin, like, can you like chop up the ribs? And she started using it like her fingers. He's like, nah, use it, like, use your teeth. And she started using her teeth and starts shredding these damn ribs for this boy. It was kind of like, it was funny, but like at the time, like I was just like kind of ill, but like now it was like funny as hell. I mean, it's still funny, but that's not the point. So yeah, so there was my cousin. I guess she ended up getting kind of sleepy or whatever. She's like, I'm gonna lay down. Is that cool? The dude was like, yeah, that's fine. So he ended up staying on the floor. My cousin laid down. Lightskin was like, you trying to lay down? And I'm like, yeah, let's lay down, that's cool. So we get at the top bunk, we laying down. He laughing. He was like, why you got the top bunk? Like, why you got the top bunk? I'm like, well, because this is not my room. Like, I came to live with my cousin. And then he was like, oh, so these ain't your stickers either. I was, oh, there was Ninja Turtle stickers. There we go. He was like, these ain't your stickers either. I was like, no, I don't really watch Ninja Turtle. Like, this ain't my shit. And then he was just like, he was just laughing and joking about it. And we fast forwarding, because like we ended up falling asleep. Like, we was really talking for like a minute, like while just laying there together, and we ended up falling asleep, and we ended up waking up to his alarm going off. It was like 3 o'clock in the morning, I think, like that. And he was just like, fuck, like my alarm went off. I'm like, damn, like I didn't even know he went to sleep. He was like, me neither. And then he's like, I gotta leave in a little bit. I'm like, okay, well, you know, we can just hop out the window, get your cousin, you can hop out the window, and you know, y'all be on your way. And then he was like, but you trying to, like, you know, like you trying to do that. And I'm like, do what? So you trying to, and I'm like, no, like I'm not ready for that. And then he was like, well, have you ever had, and I'm like, no, I've never done any of that. And then he was just like, well, like, do you want some? And I'm like, are you trying to do that for real? He was like, yeah, if you want me to, like, if you willing. And I'm like, okay, like, let's do it. So again, y'all remember about that tampon, right? Right. Y'all, he pulled my shorts down. He put my shorts down, you know, he, you know, spreads my legs and he licks. He's like, he licks again. He does that. I'm like, what's wrong? He's like, what is that? And I'm like, what is what? He's like, it's just like this string. What is this string? And I was like, ah! Like, no, this cannot be happening right now. My first time ever with a boy, like, and this is what happened. Like, this is so embarrassing. So, like, I'm like, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go to the restroom real quick. So he's like, okay, I go to the restroom. I'm running there. I throw my leg up on the counter. I'm throwing water down there, trying to get it like moist to make the tampon wet enough to like pull, so I could pull it out. And it finally got wet enough, so I pulled that motherfucker out, and I went back to the other room. And then he was just like, "You good? Everything okay?" I'm like, "Yeah." He like, "You still trying to do that?" I'm like, "If you want to." And he was like, "Yeah, let's do it. I got time." So shit, you know, he did what he did. It was cool. He finished. He was just like, he's like, "All right, I'm gonna hit you. I'm gonna let you know when I get home." I'm like, "Okay, cool." So him and his cousin hopping out the window. They leave. I wake Twin up. I'm like, "Twin, you won't believe what the fuck just happened." She was like, what? I'm running to her. I'm like, so he trying to give me head, right? Girl, remember we left the tampon in it, right? She's like, yeah. I'm like, he licked down there and he fucked the tampon. She's like, bitch, no, that's nasty. That's nasty. I'm like, I know. I'm so glad he did not know what it was. Like, I was telling her. She said, so what you do? I'm like, I told him I'm gonna go to the restroom real quick and I'll wet that bitch and I'll rip that bitch out. And then she was like, damn, like, that is crazy. She's like, I can't believe I went to sleep. I was like, ew, I don't know why I did that. She's like, I can't believe I went to sleep. I was like, girl, me neither. Like, we all went to sleep. Like, it was just random as fuck. And then she was like, damn, so like, did y'all fuck? And I'm like, no, girl, we didn't fuck. She's like, why? I'm like, come on already. Like, you know, he wasn't like too worried about it. Like, she was like, She's like, well, maybe next time, you know, hopefully y'all can, you know, do the thing. I'm like, maybe or something like that. Like, I don't know yet. We ain't really like established nothing. So not a couple days by, like maybe like 2 days after he had left or had came over, we were talking and stuff like that. And I'm like, hey, like, what are we, you know? Dumbass bitch. I'm like, what are we? And then he was like, what you mean? I'm like, are we a thing? Because like we doing stuff like that couples do. So, like, what are we? And then he was like, what you want to be? I'm like, well, I want you to be my boyfriend. I want to be your girlfriend. And he was just like, okay, I'm your boyfriend, and you my girlfriend. Like, that's who we are. We was calling each other babe and everything. So I'm like, okay. Like, I was just so happy. Oh, my babe this, babe that. So a couple days after we established a relationship, he was like, what you doing? Like, it was the same thing again. I was like, nothing. Why you trying to come over? You trying to see me? And he's like, yeah, I'm trying to see you. So I'm like, okay, when you trying to come? He was like, I'm gonna let you know when I'm outside, and I'm gonna bring Jaden again. Is that okay? I'm like, yeah, that's cool. I'm gonna let Twin know. He's like, okay, that's cool. So I let Twin know. I'm like, Twin, he coming over again, and he bringing Jaden again. Like, she's okay, that's fine. Like, he a vibe anyway. Like, he cool. So we was like, all right, bet. Time come, they arrive. When they arrived, they hopped through the window again, and you know, instead of all of us just sitting on the floor talking like we did last time, we just went right to our spots. Like, me, lightskin went on top bunk, Twin and Jaden went on the bottom bunk, and we was just chilling. So, y'all, this is so trifling. Like, what is wrong with me? Anyway, so we at the top bunk, we just talking this time, but this time conversation wasn't too long. It was like a little bit more kind of right to it, but you know, we were talking for a little bit. Then we had like this little makeout session, and then as we're making out, he's like pulling my shorts down, and as he's pulling my shorts down, I stop him a little bit, and I'm just like, Like, I started making that noise, like, no, like, you know. And then he was like, what, you're not ready? You're not ready? I'm like, no, I'm not ready. Like, I'm scared it's gonna hurt. Like, you know, I'm telling him. He's like, it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. Trust me. You trust me? I'm your boyfriend. Like, you trust me. Like, you good with me. Like, I'm just like, okay. Like, okay. Like, okay, fuck it. Let's just do it. So he pulled his shorts down. He put a condom on. And, you know, he proceeds to try to, like, stick it in. Before he does that, he gives me head again. You know, I guess to lube it up or whatever. So, you know, he's trying to stick it in. It was not going in. It was actually hurting really bad. Like, the first little, like, I, like, jumped back so hard. I hit my head on, like, the bed rail of the damn, what I said we was sleeping on? Bunk beds. Damn, that was a big brain fart. Yeah, so, I had hit the back of my head on a bar of the bunk bed or whatever. I'm like, and then he was like, you good? I'm like, can we just go a little slower? Cause like, it's not working. And he was like, it's gonna work, but I'll go slower. Like, if I'll go slow, like, that's cool, it's cool, whatever. So he going slow, and it finally gets in, and you know, at this point, it's feeling better and enjoyable, and we you know, he nut and he finished, and he was like, ain't no blood on my condom. And I'm like, what you mean no blood on your condom? Like, I was confused, right? And then he was like, you said you was a virgin. And I was like, I am. And then he was like, well, why ain't no blood on my condom? And then I was like, I don't know. And he was like, well, I fucked virgins before, and it's supposed to be blood on this condom if you're a virgin. And I was like, I am. He's like, no, you lied to me. I'm like, I did not lie to you. So we kind of got into like this little like small argument, and he just laid there, and he just like went to sleep, just did not say anything to me. And I was just sitting there just like, what the fuck just happened? Like, I know this did not just happen. So I'm laying there on my phone, and I get a friend request off of I got a friend request from Jaden, and my dog, he's literally at the bottom bunk, and I'm like, I accept it, and like it already had like a message like waiting for me, like when I accepted him as a friend, and he was just like, you up? And I'm like, yeah, you up? Like, asking stupid ass questions. I'm like, yeah, you up? He was like, yeah, it's light skin up. I'm like, nah, he sleep. He was like, all right, well, I'm finna tell you something. And I'm just like, what is it? Because at this point, like, I mean, not at this point, but like when he told me, like, he had something to tell me, my heart was kind of racing, but not really for nothing too serious. But when somebody tell you they gotta tell you something, it's serious. So I was kind of like, my heart was like the whole time. He was just like, well, I got something to tell you. I'm like, okay, what is it? He was just like, lightskin got a girlfriend. And I'm like, you're joking. No, he doesn't have a girlfriend. I'm his girlfriend. Like, you're lying. And then he was like, no, like, he does have a girlfriend. His girlfriend is my cousin. And I'm like, then how are y'all cousins? Because you say that's your cousin. He's like, well, I called him my cousin because he dates my cousin. And me and him was homeboys before, you know, they started dating and stuff like that. And I'm like, so how long they been together? He said they've been together for like 3 years. Like 2 going on 3 years. Like, that's how long they've been together. And I'm just like, nah, you're lying. He didn't have a girlfriend. Because I'm putting hickeys on this boy. Like I said, he's high yellow, y'all. He's lighter than me, okay? I'm putting hickeys on this boy's neck, this boy's chest. Like, how is she, if she's around him and he has a girlfriend, how did she not see these hickeys? So I was not believing it. So he sent me a picture of them together. I'm like, this is true. He do got a bitch. So guess what I did? I slapped his ass. Yes, I did. I slapped him and I woke him the fuck up. And I told him to get the fuck out and leave. And then he was just like, what's going on? Why did you hit me? Why did you hit me? I'm like, you got a girlfriend and you told me that you didn't have a girlfriend. You told me I was your girlfriend. So you lied to me. And then he was like, who told you that? Who told you that? I'm like, bro, it don't even matter. You have a girlfriend. You need to leave. And then he was like, no, I don't have a girlfriend. We've been broke up. Who told you that? Did she tell you that? She texting you? Da da da. I'm like, no, leave. He was like, you weird. You a kid anyway, and this and that. So, you know, him and his cousin leave and stuff like that. And his cousin didn't say nothing to me. His cousin was the first one out the window, to be honest with you. And then he left. And then my cousin wake up. She's like, what the fuck happened? I'm like, twin, why did Lightskin have a girlfriend this whole time? And she was like, bitch, what? Like, she was just like, what? No. Like, he did not have a girlfriend. And mind you, his girlfriend didn't even go to our school. That was another red flag, too, right there. Should have known. But, yeah. So, I'm like, yeah, he had a girlfriend this whole time. And she was like, nah, like, y'all fuck? Did y'all fuck? I'm like, bro, we did, bro. And then she was like, nah. I'm like, bro, I am so embarrassed. Like, this is why I did not want to fuck with him in the first place. Like, I started beating myself up for this shit. I'm like, this is why I should never went over there and got into Snapchat. I'm like, just so mad, whatever, right? So I'm texting him, like, I'm like, you weird, this is and that. Like, how could you lie to me? He's not texting me back. Then I want to say a couple days later, a couple days later, we go back to school, and we walking around in school. He not saying nothing to me, I'm not saying nothing to him. When he see me, he don't even look at me. It's like he looked right past me type shit, you know what I'm saying? So I get home one day from school, and I'm going through laundry, and I see that I have a sweater of his, and I'm texting him, I'm like, you left your sweater over here. And I didn't get no reply from him. And then one day, I want to say like a couple days later, his cousin had texted me, the same cousin, Jaden had texted me on Snapchat and was like, what you doing? And I'm like, nothing. Like, have you talked to lightskin or whatever? And then he was like, yeah, why? I was like, well, I tried to let him know I got a sweater over here, but he not replying or whatever. Can you let him know? And then he was like, yeah, I got you or whatever. I was like, all right, thank you. So, like I said, he was not replying to me, remember? It was like one day, like, I heard a knock at the door. And no, fuck that. I saw my cousin getting ready. Yeah, she was getting ready for like a little sneaky link, how I was getting ready for my little boo daddy to come over. That's how she was getting ready. So I'm like, who coming over? Like, and they got somebody for me. Like, what's going on? She was like, oh, I mean, he do got somebody, but you know him already, and they finna be on the way, this and that. I'm like, who is it? She was not trying to tell me. So you know, so we can get here, da 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 da, and just laugh like, mind your business, da 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 da. And I'm like, okay, like that's cool, I guess. So again, she did not tell me what time they was coming. I was not aware. I was in a room. She wasn't even in the room, y'all. No, she was in the room. She was in the room with me. She ended up getting up and leaving out the room to go open the front door. So I stick my head out the room door to see like who coming like down the hall, and it's Jaden. He was the first person I saw. And I'm like, hey, what you doing in here? And then he was just like, nothing. So he come in the room, and after that, the door was closed. The door was closed. So I don't know who walked in, right? I don't remember who. I didn't see who walked in. I didn't see who walked in after Jaden. I just remember Jaden walked in. I'm back though, like, oh, hey, like, what you doing here? We go in the room. I closed the door. I was waiting for like the other two people to come in, my cousin and whoever she had, but the door was closed and they continued to walk down to the other room. So I'm just like, who is that? Like, you know, and he was not saying nothing. He was just like, so what you been on, stuff like that. And I'm just like, who is that? Like, why y'all know? He's not trying to tell me who that is. So I leave the room. He was like, don't leave the room. And I'm like, why not? And he's like, don't leave the room. And I'm like, man, like, fuck out of here. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is my house. Like, I can do what the fuck I want. So I leave out the room and I'm listening. Like, I hear a bed like squeaking. I hear her moaning, stuff like that. And I'm just like, oh, she fucking. Like, oh, who's she fucking? Like, I was being nosy trying to see. Yes, the fuck I was. And like, you know, I peeked through the door and like, I see the dude from the back, but like it had like this like light in the room where it was like really too bright, but you could just see the dude in the back and like the position that they were in. So he was hitting her from the back, and I'm just like, oh, like what the fuck? Like, who is that? I'm still trying to fucking figure out who the fuck that is, not knowing who the fuck that is. So I'll go back in the room. What happened? I go back in the room with Jaden. We in the room like, and we ended up just like talking. Then we ended up making out. Like, I don't know how it happened, but one thing led to another. We did not have sex though, but we were like making out like hella. And like in the middle of us making out, my cousin had came to the door, opened the door, and was like, you ready to go? Like, he ready to leave type. And then I'm like, he like, yeah, I'm ready to go. He gave me a kiss and he was like, I'm finna leave. And I'm just like, okay, and like just hit me up or whatever, I guess. And then my cousin come in the room, and then she was just like, girl, like, I'm like, what was that? And she was just like, mind your business, and just, you know, like not really trying to tell me, but yeah, she really wasn't not trying to tell me. And like it fucks me up at this point, like knowing the story, because at this time, like, this is my best friend, like this is who I tell everything, I do everything with. So like I really wasn't expecting her to do this to me for real. But you know, we get to like what, like literally after that day, he had hit me up and was like, oh, I'll come by and get it tonight. Like, I'll come get it tonight or whatever. And then when he came and got it, like, he didn't let me know. He did not let me know he was here. he let her know he was there. And she went to open the door. And when she went to open the door, I was like, hey, what you doing here? Why you didn't tell me you was here? And he's like, where my jacket? And I was just like, right here. He took it. He walked off. And I'm just like, okay. So then I'm like, girl, what the fuck? Like, what the fuck did I do? Like, what should I do? Like, I was asking her, like, because I want my nigga back. Like, what should I do? And she was just like, well, have you tried talking to him? I'm like, no, I ain't talked to him. Like, I tried, but like, he not replying, and he just making things weird. Like, what did I do? And then she was like, I don't know, just try to talk to him again, and maybe he'll talk back, like, or maybe just give him some time or stuff like that. She was telling me. I'm listening to her. Okay, yeah, you right. Give him some time. No, bitch, give him some time so you can get him that. Whew. Anyway, so goddamn, this shit pissing me off, y'all. So my cousin, okay, at this school that I went to, it was like I had hella family members that went there. I had hella cousins that went there. So I had this other cousin, her name is Kai. So Kai was like, one day she came up to me in school and she was like, Sydney, I gotta tell you something. And I was just like, what's going on? Like, you know? And she was just like, come this way. And I'm like, okay. So we leaving from Twin, from my cousin Gia, from Gia's friends. Like, we leaving from out of that group. So my cousin Kyle was just like, I need to come tell you something. And I'm seeing Twin looking at me from a distance, but like she not looking, but she like looking away, doing this, looking around, like, you know, doing stuff like that as me and Kai are talking. And then she was like, did Twin tell you yet? And I was like, tell me what? And then she was like, don't tell her I told you, but she and lightskin is fucking. And I'm like, y'all, my jaw dropped to this motherfucking ground, y'all. I was like, ain't no way. And tears started like flowing from my eyes because like I was crying over this nigga to her. Like, I was telling her like how much I really like this nigga and how much he played me, how much he hurt me and what he did to me, and she knew this shit and she still went behind my back and fucked this nigga. Like, I was like, nah. Like, everything after she told me that, everything just starts hitting me in my head, bro. Like the night when he had came over, or when the dude came over, it was him. Like, everything just starts playing in my head. That's why she didn't want to tell me. That's why she didn't say who was coming. That's why I didn't even know he was coming at the fucking door to come get his jacket. That's, you know what I'm saying? Like, I did not know a lot of shit, and it would start flowing together, and I was just upset, and I went home early because she had, not early, but I had walked home earlier than like when we usually walk home, because we usually like wait, talk to our friends, and then walk home. But I just walked home today, and my cousin, I get home, my auntie was like, where your cousins at? And I was like, I don't fucking know. And I went to the room, and she was like, what's wrong, niece? And I was like, auntie, honestly, I'm having a bad day. Like, I don't want to deal with it. Like, I don't want to talk about it right now. She was like, okay, like, whenever you ready to talk about it, come talk to me, because you know you can. I'm like, yeah, auntie, like, I know, I love you. She's like, okay, I love you too. Twin finally come home, y'all, and she's like, hey cousin, like she always do, like, you know, she's like, hey cousin. I'm like, what's up? Real dry to her. She was like, what's wrong? I'm like, nothing, you know. She was like how was school, like how we normally do. I'm being real dry to her, not even asking her about her day. She was just like, you okay? I'm like, nah, like I'm just not in the mood right now, like I'm not feeling good, lying to her. So I lay down, really like in my feelings about this shit. I cooked breakfast sandwiches for her, me, and my other cousin Cameron. So like every morning before we went to school, so I always cook this breakfast. So she started like noticing like weird ass shit. Like, I wasn't making her breakfast sandwiches, like I wasn't waiting for her to, and like me and Cameron were not waiting for her to walk to school in the morning. Like, she was noticing weird things. So it was like, I really don't know how long it took her to notice, but it was like, it got to a point to where she noticed one day, like, I really, like, was not fucking with her no more. Like, I really stopped talking to her. I started distancing myself with her at school and everything. So it was just like, one day she came home. Like, it's like she knew this shit, bro. She came home, bro. And, like, I'm, like, the way the bunk bed is set up, like, I'm, the top one is, like, the small one. And then the bottom one's, like, the queen size or mattress, whatever, but it was like the bigger version of the bunk bed at the bottom. So that's where I was sitting at. I was kind of leaned back on like this, sitting on the floor on my phone, and like she just comes home and she just like hugs my waist, y'all. Like, she just hugs my waist and she's just crying, right? And then I'm looking at her, I'm like, looking down like, bro, what are you doing? And then she was just like, cousin, I'm just so sorry. I'm so sorry. I should have told you. I know I fucked up. I'm so sorry. Hit me. You can do anything to me. I'm like, I'm not gonna hit you. Like, why would I hit you? I'm like, bro, can you get off me? Like, can you just get off me? She's like, cousin, please. Like, I'm sorry. Like, she just kept saying sorry. I'm just like, it's cool. Like, it's whatever. Like, I was acting nonchalant about it, but I was really hurt at the same time. So, after she had finally came clean about having sex with the dude I lost my virginity with, we were very distant. Like, it wasn't the same no more. Like, it was just different as fuck. And yeah, it was just different. Like, the vibe wasn't the same no more. Cousin love wasn't cousin love no more. Even though it got to a point where I tried to forgive her and tried to let the shit go, but it was just like, I couldn't, because it was just like, bitch, you really down low for that shit, and you were the one who wanted me to talk to this nigga in the first place. Like, family don't do that, you feel me? But like I said, we grew from this situation. We are okay to this day. We're good to this day. I love her. She's my cousin. Like, yeah, that shit happened, but we were kids, and I can't let that shit, you know, deter our relationship, because when we're good, we're good. So it was just like, I'm not gonna lose family over a boy who I only knew for like a week or two. So yeah, y'all, that's the story time for this video. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I do want to get a shout out to Cameron for giving me this story time or idea to make a story time, because he had left in the comments that he wanted to hear a new story time. So I made this one for you guys today, and I hope you guys really enjoyed it. I was really open and really vulnerable with this story, so just don't like not bash me, but just don't, like, you know, like, say negative things in the comments about me being fast, or don't do it, because I know y'all. So I learned from that mistake. And another thing, I wanted to say, I was trying to record a YouTube video for y'all of me doing my hair, because I did my hair or whatever, and I wanted you guys to see it, but I didn't have enough storage to record the full video. So if you guys do want to see like a hair tutorial or a hair video from me, let me know down in the comments below. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Give me a like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what you guys think about this video, and let me know what y'all want to see next. And yeah, y'all, we out.